It's midnight. You're lying in bed. The house is completely silent. Then suddenly, the lights go out. For a moment, everything freezes. The room is still the same room. The furniture hasn't moved. Nothing dangerous has appeared. And yet, something inside you changes. Your heart starts beating faster. Your eyes search the darkness. Every small sound suddenly feels important. The creak of a floorboard, the whisper of the wind, the hum of the house itself. It's as if your brain is preparing for something. But why? Why does darkness make humans uncomfortable? Why do millions of people feel uneasy when the lights go out? Why are we afraid of something that isn't even there? To answer that question, we need to travel back. Not hundreds of years, not thousands, but tens of thousands of years, long before cities, long before electricity, long before written history. Back to a world where darkness meant something very different. For more than 99% of human history, people lived without artificial light. When the sun disappeared, darkness took over completely. Not the darkness we experience today. Real darkness. The kind of darkness where you couldn't see your own hand in front of your face. The kind of darkness that swallowed entire forests. The kind of darkness that hid everything beyond the reach of a campfire. Today, darkness is mostly an inconvenience. You turn on a lamp. You unlock your phone. You flip a switch. Problem solved. But for our ancestors, darkness wasn't an inconvenience. It was a threat. Because once the sun went down, humans lost their greatest advantage. Vision. Humans are visual creatures. We rely on our eyes more than almost any other sense. During the day, our ancestors could spot danger from a distance. But at night, everything changed. Suddenly, danger became invisible. A rustling bush could hide a wolf. A distant sound could be a rival tribe. A movement in the shadows could mean a predator waiting to strike. And the worst part was not knowing. Imagine sitting beside a small fire. Beyond that circle of light lies endless darkness. You hear something moving, but you can't see what it is. Maybe it's nothing. Or maybe it's the last thing you'll ever hear. That uncertainty shaped the human brain. Because at night, humans were no longer hunters. They became prey. For thousands of generations, survival depended on one thing: being cautious. The people who survived weren't always the strongest. They weren't always the smartest. Often, they were simply the ones who reacted first. The ones who assumed danger before danger arrived. The ones who treated uncertainty as a warning. And over time, evolution rewarded that behavior. Slowly. Generation after generation. The result is something every one of us still carries today. An ancient alarm system hidden inside the brain. Part of that system is called the amygdala. It's small. It's ancient. And it's incredibly powerful. The amygdala has one primary job: keep you alive. That's it. It doesn't care whether you're embarrassed. It doesn't care whether you're comfortable. And it certainly doesn't care whether you're being logical. Its only concern is survival. Imagine you're walking through the forest at night. You hear a strange sound in the darkness. Your brain has two options. Option 1. Ignore it. Keep walking. Assume everything is fine. Option 2. Call time to the first to-do milieu for Thailand's app. Run. Hide. Prepare for the worst. Now imagine the sound was actually a predator. If you chose the first option, you might not survive. But if you chose the second option and the sound turned out to be harmless, nothing happens. You survive anyway. Over thousands of generations, evolution favored caution. Because being overly careful was usually less dangerous than being wrong. And that's why your brain still reacts to darkness today. Not because darkness is dangerous, but because darkness once was. The ancient brain doesn't know the difference between a modern apartment and a prehistoric forest. It responds to uncertainty the same way it always has. And darkness creates uncertainty. Humans hate uncertainty. In fact, our brains are constantly trying to predict what's happening around us. Every second of every day, your brain is always filling in gaps, making assumptions, creating expectations. Most of the time, it works remarkably well. But darkness changes everything. Because when vision disappears, information disappears. And when information disappears, imagination takes over. That's why ordinary things suddenly seem strange in the dark. A coat hanging on a chair becomes a monster. A shadow becomes a person. A harmless noise becomes approaching footsteps. The less information we have, the more our minds begin to guess. And our brains rarely guess in the direction of safety. They guess in the direction of survival. Better to imagine danger that isn't there than ignore danger that is. This is also why children often fear darkness more than adults. Children aren't irrational. In many ways, they're simply more honest. Their ancient alarm systems are working exactly as intended. Adults experience the same fear. We've just learned how to talk back to it. When an adult sees a shadow, they might say, "It's just a coat. It's just the wind. It's just my imagination." But the ancient brain still whispers the same question it has whispered for thousands of years. Are you sure? And that's the fascinating part. Because darkness has never been safer than it is today. Most people watching this video will never encounter a predator. Most strange noises have harmless explanations. Most dark rooms contain absolutely nothing dangerous. Yet the feeling remains. The discomfort. The uneasiness. The sense that something could be hiding just beyond what we can see. Why? Because technology evolves quickly. Human brains do not. Your environment became modern. Your instincts didn't. And so, every time darkness makes you uncomfortable, you're experiencing something extraordinary. Not a flaw. Not a weakness. Not a mistake. You're experiencing an echo. An ancient message carried across thousands of generations. A reminder from ancestors who survived because they were cautious. The world they lived in is gone, but the echoes remain. Hidden inside your mind. Waiting. And the next time you find yourself staring into a dark room, feeling just a little uneasy, remember this. What you're feeling isn't fear of the dark. It's the memory of survival. Because history isn't behind us. It's inside us.